Hi everybody and welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison and today we'll be going over the markets. We'll be doing a bit of technical analysis for the likes of Bitcoin, Ethereum and a couple of other charts as well. We'll also be looking at Binance KuCoin and a couple of news stories as well. First of all, I want to thank all my free group. Really appreciate everybody in the free group, and I also want to thank the premium group as well. The premium group are a brilliant bunch of kind of people in crypto looking to trade crypto and make money from crypto as well. Not just that, we also do long-term investment advice as well. So we pick and I kind of look for projects, and the team does, well, not the team, but the premium group as well. They're looking for projects and kind of alert me to projects. It could be long-term investments as well. Some of the ones we've mentioned is Constellation, which is DAG. I'm going to be doing more about that as well. COTE, we've looked at. Uptrend, we've looked at recently as well. And a few others that we've looked at for the long term. So a couple of exciting ones. And speaking about the premium group, we've got a call from yesterday. So here is one of the calls I made yesterday. This was for Wabi, and I called it at 15:05. You can see there, 63 people seen the call. This was February 10th at 7:37 in the morning. Called at 15:05. It did go up to around the 1700 area, 1750 area for a 16% gain. Now this has come back down since, but there's still more to come from Wabi as well. So that call is still in play and will be in play until the 20th of February. I give 10 days for each call. So if you want to join the premium group and get calls like this nearly every day, you can join. There's a link down below to join the premium group as well. It'd be brilliant to see you in there. So if you want to join the premium group, there is a link down below. Also want to give a shout out to Berserker, who's in the free group and who's part of the kind of Constellation team as well. I'll tell you all about why I want to kind of thank him in another video, but a big shout out to Berserker as well, and everybody else on Twitter as well. The Twitter following is growing, and I'm getting more involved in Twitter feeds with regards to crypto as well. Okay, let's jump into the markets just now, see what is going on. We have an overall market capitalization of 281 billion. I'll just put my glasses on here. 281 billion. We've got Bitcoin dominance down to 63.3%. It's going down ever so slightly all the time. And we'll see who the winners and losers are. We've got a Bitcoin price of 9,787, so it's gone up slightly as well, which is good. Who's the winners and losers? We have Huobi Pool token, 22% up. Waves is up 20%. Spoke about that yesterday, possible breakout for Waves after looking at that kind of the descending triangle. A lot of them are popping just now. And popping out of these descending triangles. Waves was one of them I looked at yesterday. Synthetics Network, 11.94. Algorand, 11.07. Verge, 10%. Basic Attention Token. OKB is up 10% as well. So 7 coins in the green, double-digit greens. In the red, we have Kick Token. That's already gone up quite a lot this week. Up 37%, or down 37%. Lisk is down 17%. That was a huge rise as well. Molecular Future down 13, AION is down 12, Bitcoin down 10% as well. The rest are negligible, not that much down to be honest. I'd say about 30% in the red, 70% in the green. And Satoshi value, does it change? It does, it's probably about 87% in the green in Satoshi value. So that is good to find the actual alt. So this is kind of alt season. We're in alt season just now. If not a mini alt season, the alt season. So it's going to get better. Okay, let's look at what's happening on Binance. We'll see what's happening on Binance here. Just at the top, 41% for WPR. Pearl has gone fantastic. Wished I'd held on to that, but I didn't. It did go up to 585. ARK is up 27%. AMB. Called that this morning, that is up. ERD called that as well the other day at 19. That is up to 22. So doing well. So you can see we've got a lot of pages in the green on Binance, probably one page in the red. On KuCoin, we have just a couple of coins we're looking at there. We'll just see what's doing well. Synthetics up 12%, ZRX, that's in the KuCoin Plus. And just a very quick look, HPB is up 79%, Onion, Bax is up 37%, Try is up 24%, AMB up 21%. So we've got a couple of charts here. DAG, which is Constellation, has moved back up. I bought some more of them as well yesterday, 126 they're up to. We've got AMB 233 Satoshi. AGI is up to 241. It did go up to 250. I think that's more to climb as well. Again, that's breaking out of a triangle. And we've got COTI, which is still 146. So that jumped up, which has done well, and jumped up about 30%. So it's still doing well at the moment, holding its own. And I think a sideways pattern and a jump from there will happen as well. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin chart. You can see we're at 9,778 at the moment. So we've got two red candles there. However, if you look at this, I mentioned yesterday, usually what happens when you get a big rise like this, and the price comes down to hit the 7 EMA and bounce back up again. It's at that very point just now, 9,791. It's that, and it could bounce from the 7 EMA. If not, we're looking at 9,400 as a technical support, and no lower than 8,000, I would say 8,800. I don't think we're going to go any lower than 8,800. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I genuinely think there's a lot of positive sentiment in the marketplace just now. And there's a lot of news, good news coming out as well. So I don't see us going any lower than 8,800. And I think for the moment, I don't see it going lower really than $9,000 for Bitcoin. Ethereum, we're still looking at $220 just now. So we're probably due a bit of a pullback for Ethereum just now. And see, that is a parabolic rise. And you can see exactly the same happened there. When you get parabolic rises like this, it usually bounces off the 7 EMA. If it's going to come down further, it'll go below the 7 EMA, possibly come down to the 50 EMA or somewhere in between. But we've got that 200-day moving average for Ethereum as well. So 174, 175. So we might get a pullback for Ethereum before we start the ascent to the $300 range. And that is going to happen. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. So it's looking good for Ethereum as well. You can see with Ethereum, the 50 EMA is crossing over the 200 MA, which is a really good sign as well. Another bullish sign. And this is a long-term trend here. We've got this kind of megaphone structure here going on, which is a good play for Ethereum. I was just kind of looking at that as well, this megaphone structure. So if that kind of went up, we're talking about $65,000 for Ethereum. But I'm not suggesting even for a second that that's going to happen. But, because $300 has to come first before $65,000. But that's for Ethereum. A couple of the ones we've been looking at, ERD I called this morning. I didn't call it this morning, called it 4 or 5 days ago. And it's up to 22, so it's up about 15% now for ERD. And it's getting stronger, so that was breaking out. You can see here this triangle breaking out of there at the triangle around about the 19 or 20 mark. ERD has been a bogey coin in the past, but I think with the momentum in kind of alts just now, I think we're going to get this play coming up, and we should possibly get up to the 30 range for ERD, so that could be a good one. What else is coming up as well? ALTCoins just coming out, and Binance has just announced that they're going to do a $90,000 competition, or $90,000 in prizes for ALTCoins for trading competition, so that has jumped up this morning as well. BAT is up. DREP is looking good as well. I was looking at that this morning. DOGA or DREP, and that's looking good. I was going to call that 24, didn't call it, but I do think that's got some way to go, possibly up to 29 mark and possibly beyond as well. AGI, you can see that's breaking out as well. Fetch, that looks as if it's going to up and coming as well, going to cross over on the daily, the 750 EMA. The MACD has crossed over, volume is starting to pick up. Again, we're coming off this kind of triangle. We're breaking out of a triangle pattern, descending triangle pattern, which is really good. So you're going to get loads and loads of alts coming out this descending triangle pattern. Once it breaks out, that's a really, really good sign. But wait until it breaks out, maybe 1 or 2 Satoshi above it, and stays above that before going in. If it looks as if it's going to go down and got strong support, then obviously I would go into the trade. But I've got a crossover of the 750 EMA as well, so that's good as well for Fetch. So that's going to be another one that's going to be breaking out soon as well. So that is the charts. Just now, a very quick look at the charts. keep an eye on that. There's descending triangles. You're going to see them all over on Binance and KuCoin and all the other exchanges as well. Okay, on to the news. Thank you to Mike for providing a couple of news stories this morning, really good news stories. And this one, the US government lost 1.7 billion by selling Bitcoin too early. And this shows the kind of short-sightedness of the government. So the United States is likely to have missed out on around 1.7 billion by auctioning off seized Bitcoin way too soon. So US authorities have seized 185,000 Bitcoin through criminal investigations between 2014 and now, including an auction for 3,813 Bitcoin that runs throughout February. And so Bitcoin sold by the US Marshals has earned them roughly 151 million according to Lop's portal. So this is Jameson Lop. So this is Lop's portal. If this is the case, it would indeed mean that the US government has shortchanged itself by roughly 1.7 billion by refusing to hold. However, this is really quite interesting as well. UK police are also in the business of auctioning criminally seized cryptocurrency, having conducted Bitcoin auctions for the first time late last year, which I noticed it as well. My wife told me about it, because I tried to get into the auction, but I was too late. In September, Hardfork reported that Wilson's auction sold Bitcoin on behalf of the Crown to generate $369,000. On average, one Bitcoin sold for $8,365. And at the time, Bitcoin traded on cryptocurrency exchanges for a little over 8,000. So it sold above what you could actually get it on the exchanges for. But Bulgaria's government, however, appears to do better than both the US and the UK, which had been long rumoured to be sitting on 200,000 Bitcoin, which is 2 billion seized from criminals. Eventually, local media reports indicated the full amount of cryptocurrency was actually sold to several sovereign wealth funds and Asian investors for around $16,000 each, which is a hell of a lot more than $818. So that's what's got in the... So I'm presuming that was $8,180 they're talking about, so double the price. So I don't know why you wouldn't just go to an exchange, but if it was 200,000, I guess that's why. Bitcoin will surge to 100k within 23 months. Analyst updates post-BTC halving prediction. So this is from Plan B. Thanks to their optimistic model for predicting the price of Bitcoin following the 2020 halving, crypto analyst Plan B has become one of the industry's most cited figures. Plan B's March 2019 study, titled Modelling Bitcoin's Value with Scarcity, makes a case for at least a 55,000 post-halving BTC price. Using yearly data, as NewsBTC recently reported, Plan B arrives at an even more bullish price of $100,000. And the date the analyst previously gave to their BTC prediction is at some point during 2021. This is Plan B. If you don't follow Plan B, I'll definitely follow. I've been following for a while. So Plan B, update my two stats on Bitcoin. 2020 BTC stays above 8,200. So we're not going below 8,200 in 2020 is what it's saying. So we're not dropping to 6k or 4k levels that others are predicting. May 2020 halving will be above 10k. And 2021 bull run starts after the halving and tops 100k before December 2021. This shows the kind of mark of a CEO as well. I want to show you this. So I got a notification this morning from Benjamin Jorgenson, who's the CEO of Constellation DAG, which I spoke about. I've done a 10-minute kind of video for as well, 10-minute spotlight for, and I've been invested in DAG for a while now, and I topped up yesterday again. But I got this message from the CEO. It just says, thanks, Stephen Aitchison. I appreciate you took notice of the potential of Decode. And I was talking about Decode. And this was thanks to Berserker, who kind of posted this snippet of the video I'd kind of done for that as well. Just looking at the importance of Decode as well. It's extremely important. A lot of people have not picked up on it. But it could be huge for Constellation. But Benjamin kind of Jorgensen kind of wrote to me on Twitter and just said thanks for posting that. And since then, we've actually been in private contact. I've had a message from him, so we might be doing something. So that's really exciting as well. So thanks again to Berserker, and thanks to Benjamin Jorgensen as well, Ben. Really appreciate you writing to me. Just shows the mark of a man, I think. Bitcoin indicators suggest 190% rally incoming, says Fundstrat analyst Tom Lee. So I want to show you this. Tom Lee was on Power Lunch.
Good things have happened with Bitcoin this year. One is, the halving's happening in May. but we broke above the 200-day, so back in a bull market. There is the corona risk and geopolitical tensions. And I think last year Washington killed the Bitcoin rally, but with the elections, it's sort of not in the purview of Washington. So I think Bitcoin could rally very strongly from here.
All right. Excuse me, you want to finish the thought?
Well, I was almost going to ask him how strongly and when, but I don't know if that's getting too speculative.
Well, I can give you a sort of a mathematical stat. When Bitcoin breaks above its 200-day, which it did about 2 weeks ago, its average 6-month gain is about 190%. So this would point to all-time highs sometime this year.
That's the old, when it goes
Over
up, it goes up.
Yeah, or 27 would be the...
So which is going to be first to 30, Dow or Bitcoin? That's your question, I guess.
Yeah,
So that was Tom Lee on Power Lunch as well, saying that Bitcoin is going to go to 27,000. This is the story that Ripple's CEO to be interviewed by CNN again. Will he talk about IPO plans? So I kind of told you about the story about Brad Garlinghouse going to take Ripple to IPO, possibly taking it to IPO. So this is Julia Chatterley coming very soon, interview with Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Anything you want to hear discussed, let me know. So that's in a tweet there. And Leonidas says, when is the IPO? How will the IPO affect Ripple, XRP, and Ripple's XRP's holdings? If the latest funding round and the possibility of an IPO, the reason they reduced their sales or vice versa, how many customers at the moment, how many on ODL, how many ODL exchange partners right now. So that's Leonidas, some good questions there for Brad Garlinghouse. So that is interesting as well. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the IPO on Ripple and XRP as well, how that affects XRP. So remember, Ripple, XRP, separate entities, you have to think about it that way. But it's going to be interesting watching that because it's like almost like a hybrid of the kind of traditional coming to blockchain as well. Ethereum correction before resuming bullish trend shows indicators. So this is from, according to Into the Block, a machine learning and statistics modeling firm. The 227 price level represents a major barrier for Ethereum. Based on the firm's in-out of the money around current price, and that's the IOMAP model, there are around 506,000 addresses collectively holding 3.6 million Ether between 224 and 231. ETH could fail to break through on its first pass at this level, given the high levels of supply. So this is actually quite interesting. I'll post the news stories down below as well. So check out the IOMAP, but it says 227 is the tops for the moment. So until it breaks through that, we're not going to go anywhere with Ethereum and we could get a pullback, according to this research as well. Google searches for Bitcoin surge up 33% in the past week. So Google searches are usually considered a lagging indicator for the market. Simply put, increases in Google searches tend to happen after a major market move, not before. The same can be said for social media mentions more generally. However, it looks like Bitcoin's latest break past $10,000 caught some buzz online in just the past week. Bitcoin searches on Google are up 33%. So I don't see that as a big thing, to be honest, but it just shows you that kind of people are searching for it and that Bitcoin is in the news more. That's why people will be searching for it. So as a lagging indicator, obviously, because it's only when the price breaks a certain price that people get to know about it out with kind of the cryptocurrency world, and then they'll start searching for it in Google. So that's why it's a lagging indicator, but an indicator nonetheless that more and more people are searching for it as well. Okay, that's the news for today. Thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you like these videos, remember hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and like this video on the way out as well. Really appreciate all your comments as well. If you've got any comments, let me know. I'll be really happy to hear any of your comments and answer any questions as well. But any comments is really appreciated as well. So leave a comment down below this video as well. Really appreciate it. Okay, until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.